and today I have Farrah with me, and we are going to be interviewing. Well, sorry guys, we're looking down here because we have Edith, which is Farrah's daughter, and we have Tate, who is mine. So you're gonna hear, see, you're gonna hear a lot of like
crying and yelling.
Yeah, and fighting and stuff. So just ignore it. But Mum's on duty at the moment. But and the thing is, Edith's been really good till we started filming. Now she wants her mum.
She wants in.
Say hey.
Is that you?
So, Farrah, I want you to explain what SIDS is.
Right, SIDS is SIDS, is sudden infant death syndrome, which is when a baby dies unexpectedly and without cause. So it can happen when babies are ill, but it will be a death that's not caused by the illness.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So when they do a post-mortem after they've died, they check for things like overheating and asphyxiation, and if they can't find any signs of any of those things, or any like underlying heart problems, etc., they just go, oh, I don't know what it is. And it will be said on the post-mortem reports, it will be sudden and unexplained death in infancy, but known as SIDS.
And is that the same as like a cot death?
Yeah, but they changed the name of it because most of the deaths don't happen in a cot.
Oh.
Yeah, so most of them now are attributed to bed sharing.
Yes.
And it's sort of, by saying cot death, it implies that it can only happen in a cot, which isn't the case.
Yeah. What tips would you give to anyone who's going through what you've gone through in terms of like the whole SIDS situation?
I'm not really sure. I mean, you have to deal with your grief however you feel like you need to deal with your grief. And for some people, as you will have seen on Instagram as well, it's fundraising and talking about it a lot. But if you don't want to do those things, then don't do those things. Just be selfish, I guess, is the tip, because it's not about anyone else and about anyone else's feelings. It's about how you're feeling at the loss of your child. And your parents may have lost a grandchild, but they didn't lose their child. So just sort of focus on yourself for a while, for as long as you can.
It's true. It's really true, actually. Because people often tend to think that, people have all the answers, or let me go to this community-based thing because they're going through it. And you might go there and feel like, nah, they're so open with it, and you're not ready to maybe be open with it. And I think grief is something that doesn't even happen straight away as well.
Sometimes I was told about one of our local SAMS groups that, and you know, people deal with however they want to deal with things, but they would make play dates with each other and sort of take the ashes of their children along to things, and I was like, I was like, that's really not something I want to get into. Like, you're kind of in denial enough as it is, and to sort of build upon that denial and carry on with it into like months and years.
So it's like a play date with the ashes.
So I was like, it's odd.
Never heard of that.
Neither had I. I didn't go, and it wasn't me. Someone else who'd been through a loss had told me about this, and I was just like, I wouldn't go back on it, really.
Gosh, okay. Why do you think that SIDS is not spoken about as much?
SIDS is rare, so SIDS is only about 200 a year babies.
Oh, okay.
And that's significantly less than, say, miscarriage and stillbirth and all of that. And the major charities tend to focus on premature births, miscarriages, stillbirth, and neonatal death. And neonatal is sort of within the first 4 weeks after a baby's been born, and SIDS, I don't know what the ratio is, but at least mine was after that. So it's sort of, like infancy, it's normal babies, and at that point you sort of think everything's settled, and once you're home, and like people that have had losses as well, they say, I'm not going to feel good until I have the baby in my arms, and I'm like, oh, is that?
You've had the baby in your arms,
so
and
I think that's one of the reasons people don't talk about it that much, and because it can be attributed to sort of you and what you've done to. I mean, I wouldn't say to someone like it's your fault. And I would say it's my fault, but you think that about yourself. So you think it's my fault, I did this, or what if I hadn't done that? Because like I wasn't at home with him. I was in at my mum's house, and we were at my mum's house. And I always say, well, what if I hadn't gone to my mum's house? And you kind of blame yourself for it. And when a baby's older, and they're home and they're healthy and they're safe, you kind of think, well, there's no other reason than me.
Exactly.
So what did I do? It must be my fault. And people don't want to talk about that much.
Because even they say, obviously, bed sharing and stuff, and then you think, it's so not fair. There's people who have shared beds and they haven't lost a child and stuff.
Yeah, so it's not like those things cause your child to die, but they do increase the risks.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, I mean, it's just another one of those things that if you do it and nothing happens, then great, you know, that's fine, good for you. But if you do it and then your baby does die, you're like, oh shit, well, what if I hadn't?
Yeah.
And then you're left your entire life then going, what if I hadn't?
Yeah.
Is it my fault for having done this?
Yeah. How old was you when you lost your first child, Ezra?
I think I was 23.
Okay. And how did you deal with grief at such a young age when your peers are like usually all out clubbing, like?
Yeah, it's tough because I think grief and death, it's not like exclusive to old people.
Yeah,
and people
true.
I know, I think probably someone I know has lost a parent or something like that. So people have been through like different levels of grief in their life, you know, pets and etc. But it was more like I dealt with it sort of removed from age, I think.
Okay,
so well, maybe not, because I didn't have any other sort of responsibilities. So I let myself just go a bit downhill, and I ended up just like drinking and smoking a lot, which I guess if I had another...
With your friends?
Yeah, so I guess if I had another kid or something, or if I was older and had like a full-time job, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Yeah, I just ended up getting very drunk a lot of the time.
So you wasn't missing out on what your parents were doing?
No, I wasn't, but it was more like instead of drinking to have fun, I was drinking to sort of make myself have fun in a way, because there was no way in hell I could have had any fun without being sloshed. So I thought, well, I'm just gonna get really hammered, and then I'll be able to have normal conversations, or I'd be able, like, it made it easier to talk about him and what had happened as well without sort of the inhibitions of sobriety.
Wow. It's crazy when you say it like that, you know.
But I think that's like the main reasons for alcoholism, isn't it?
People do it,
drink to cover up or feel more.
And then whatever they're feeling at that time just comes up through the alcohol. So they say some people are really like sensitive when they drink, they get even more sensitive. And
I mean, for me, it was like I drank a lot, and then I would go home and be really sad when I was by myself. Because then I'd be like in the quiet, and it would be really obvious that it was quiet. But when you're out and drinking and having fun in a pub and there's people everywhere, it's like it's just easier to talk about things and be a bit like blasé about conversations, and it's easier for other people to talk about it as well.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Guys, we've got they're actually just right.
Chaos.
Take, please.
I'm gonna eat that. You come back here.
Because you was a solo mum. Do you think that it would have been made a little bit more easier if you had a partner at the time, Ezra's dad, to share the grief or the experience at the time, to share what you was going through together would have been a little bit more easier, because you can like bounce off each other. And as you said previously, when it's your parents, they're losing a grandparent, but when it's your partner, they're losing the child as well. So it would have been easier, and it would have been nicer in a way. I think I always say I wouldn't like wish this upon anyone else, but at the time I was like, fuck's sake, I really wish that his dad was as upset as I was. Yeah, of course. Because it's just because like no one really gets the way you're feeling about things anyway, unless it is their child. And at that time, obviously, I wasn't involved in the sort of baby loss community, so there was no one that felt that way. And I didn't know anyone that had had kids really, or lost kids, or even miscarriages or anything. It was just me, and that was it. But it would have been nice, even just for support in general, because it's like if you're upset, you know, if you know someone really well, your partner, then you can just sort of sit in silence together, and it's not awkward and weird. But when it's anyone else,
they always try and fill that silence, or you try and fill that silence, and I was just like so tired of it that I just don't want to talk to anyone or have people talk to me, because everyone else always said the wrong thing as well. So my dad would say things like, "Oh, I can't believe it's been a week," and I was like, I know. Yeah.
Feels like a whole year or something to me.
Like, I know it's been a week. I can count probably the minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't need you to remind me of that. And I feel like if I'd had a partner at the time, I could have just been like, "No, you deal with this," and I just don't want to. I don't want to go with it. But at the same time, it was kind of, and I was used to it anyway, so I was a bit like, just carry on. Like, I think, I think it's easier sometimes to parent without a partner as well. Not being funny, but all the stories I hear, I'm a bit like, well, I'm really glad I don't have to deal with that.
Seriously, it gets like that sometimes. Yeah. Do you think that when you, after the death of Ezra, and then you had Edith, do you think it made you like a paranoid and an anxious parent, because obviously you had dealt with losing a child and then you had another child, and it's like you do things like you're just mad paranoid and anxious.
Yeah, I mean, parenting brings out a paranoia in everyone, regardless of history. I don't know anyone that's not thought like, oh my god, what if I just drop them down the stairs by accident? But it brings a level of reality into the paranoia. So you think, oh my god, what if I tripped over, say like outside your house, what if I tripped over and threw the baby and they fell down the stairs and everything? And you think, well, that's, a normal person goes, well, that's not going to happen, is it? Because come on, there's nothing in front of me. I'm watching where I'm going, it'll be fine. But then when you've already had a death, and especially when it's something that's unexpected and unlikely, you think, well, if that can happen, why can't anything else happen? And I did CBT for a while. I did cognitive behavioural therapy for about 6 weeks, maybe less. Stop beating her up. And the main focus of it was, well, let's think about reasons why this wouldn't happen again. And I was like, but there's no reason it did happen.
Exactly.
So saying it's not going to happen, you're like, it might. Yeah. I know in my head that it's really unlikely, but that doesn't mean it's impossible.
Yeah, exactly.
So, paranoia sort of crept into everything. And that's, can I have that back, please?
Pass the phone.
Thank you. Into even when she was starting to sit up in her cot, I'd think, oh, what if she falls backwards and hits her neck funny on the side and breaks her neck and dies? I mean, I don't know if you can die from immediately from breaking your neck, but this is the things that I was thinking. And even now when she's asleep, if she's been asleep for a while, I'm like, is she okay? Yeah. And then she's fine. There's been a couple of times where she's been asleep and I've tried to wake her up and she hasn't woken up. Yeah. And I was like, get up! Oh my god, get up! And then she's opened her eyes and looked at me and been like, what are you doing?
Chill out.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning, can you not? Yeah. But then she doesn't wake up properly, fully. So I'm like, is she actually okay? Should I wake her up again? Should I just get, and I'm just like, no, stop it. So in my head I'm going, stop, just let her sleep.
I was going to say that you must be
oh my god.
You must kind of be you must kind of be your own kind of worst nightmare sometimes as well, and your brain just does overtime, and and it's up until, because you lost Ezra at 9 weeks. So I mean, do you think it carried on past 9 weeks after you had Edith?
It's constant. And I think about now when she's older as well. So what if, she goes on a school trip one day and I'm not there and something happens, or...
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Or there was an article recently, a 25-year-old woman died in her sleep for no reason. And it turned out that she had a minor undiagnosed heart condition. And she just died in her sleep. And I'm like... what the hell? What?
Yeah, because apparently it's now adult cot death as well that they...
so it's just sorry. There's no end to it now. You know that once your child dies and it sort of breaks the natural order of the world and the way things work, you begin to realise that, actually, mortality is very fragile and life is very fragile and people die at all ages, all the time, every day. And you're like, oh, for God's sake. Because I did think, I was like, well, maybe when she's older than he was, it'll be easier.
Yeah.
And then after she was born, I was like, well, that's not going to happen.
It's
so
constant. Yeah.
Literally constant.
After the loss of Ezra, do you feel that seeing people with children, like, did you get jealous and like a bit envious? Or?
All the time. Yeah. All the time. My friend Nicola's just written a book called Life After Baby Loss, and she has a chapter on jealousy. And she says quite rightly that, you know, it's not going to achieve anything being jealous. Like, being angry at their happiness is not going to make you happy. Yeah. But at the time, I was just like,
emotion
I was just like, fuck off. Like, how dare there be babies everywhere? How dare there be children everywhere? How dare there be adults everywhere? Why is there people everywhere all the time? And like on TV, there was Pampers adverts and formula adverts and it seems like every TV show I was watching had like babies in it for some reason, or like a plot point where someone's baby would die and they would use that as a way to make the female character like angrier or more masculine or even extra nice or something. And I was like, why is it just everywhere? It's like following me. I'm trying to watch a TV show about murder and here comes another baby.
Sorry guys, Tate, it's like almost like, you know, when you think you're pregnant and every other advert is Claire Bloom.
Yeah,
Claire Bloom. And you're like, no, I'm pregnant. Like,
it was like seeing pregnant women around, and I was just like, you don't even know like what's coming or what could happen. And I was like jealous at their naivety. Yeah. Even though I knew nothing about them, so they could have like lost every single child before that one. And I was, you know, it was just the same thing. And then I saw when you see people, you know, with their kids on the bus and they're like, shut up. And I'm like, you don't know, like, what I would give for this. Now, I mean, when she's on the bus, I'm like, oh my God, shut up. But at the time, I was just like, oh, everything's against me. It's not fair.
No, it's so try to even look at it in that way, actually, like just taking things for granted.
Yeah, as well. But I mean, you do. That's what you do. Edith, take that out of your mouth.
Do you think that having Edith kind of filled that void that was missing, even though it of course it never makes up for Ezra, but it kind of just, how can I put it? That missing thing, and it will always be missing, but it kind of like, now you've got Edith and it's like, at least I have another baby. I wasn't robbed of the experience of actually being, you know, actively being a mum.
Yeah, it's a bit yes and no, because, so yeah, having another one sort of shows you exactly what you've missed. Yeah. So it does make it a bit more difficult in those terms where you're sort of thinking, oh, what would he have sounded like? Because we only just got to the point where he started making like noises, and that was like within the week. And then you've got things like, what would he have looked like, what colour his eyes, hair, etc. But on the other hand, you kind of, yes, I mean, it doesn't fill the void, but it fills your arms, you know what I mean? So you've got like, you get to do things. Why are you both beating me up? That you never got to do before.
Yeah. Do you think that women should be more transparent and speak up about child development?
Yeah, because I mean, I don't see what harm can come from being open. It makes clear to others that they're not on their own in this situation. That it does happen, and that other people talk about it all the time, and there's support out there, and there's people that do understand how you're feeling. So I mean, without people speaking up about it, I don't know where I would be, because I didn't have anyone around me who spoke up about any of it, because I didn't know anyone that had been through it. So yeah, without it, I think not talking about it does more harm than talking about it.
Yeah. And can you sum up in three words what your parenthood journey's been like?
Unconventional. A bit wild, I think, and this is quite hard. Maybe easy, I think.
And 3 words to sum up Edith.
Oh my gosh, she's a nutcase. She's nuts. She's busy.
Yeah.
And she's thankfully quite independent.
Yeah. And what's the best thing about being a mum?
I don't have to do stuff on my own anymore.
Yeah.
That's good. If I want to go shopping, I've got like someone to...
It's like your own best friend,
yeah,
your broke best friend that rolls everywhere with you.
Yeah, and makes you buy her stuff all the time.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on this channel and just sharing your experiences about SIDS. And could you just tell them where they can find you on Instagram?
Yeah, I'm at Something Rosier on Instagram, also somethingrosier.com, and I think that's it.
Thank you. And tell them about your t-shirt.
Oh yeah, also any more information on SIDS and Safe Sleeping is at the Lullaby Trust. They're the main guys for that. And I also make clothes on Edith and Ezra. Yeah, on Instagram, Edith and Ezra.
Yep, wicked. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching.